What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video. This video is going to be looking at how Argentina can win the World Cup. And before we get into their tactics and how they'll approach the semifinals to reach a World Cup final, check out both my books. They're in the description below. And check out my new tactics course. Just came out. Also, a link in the description below. I'm using Keyframe to make this video. All that's in the description. Now let's get right into it. So Argentina set up with central pressing traps, similarly to how the Netherlands would have approached the semifinal, but Argentina do it with a 4-3-3 and usually having asymmetry, seeing their right winger or one of their wide midfielders dropping deeper and creating man orientation through their three central midfielders. So they'll have two more advanced players deterring passes from the half space and forcing the team to play through the center. So what this will do is it'll create a central defender on the ball, forcing him to look to play diagonal passes through the half spaces and through the center of the field. By positioning two higher players so close to wide center backs, it forces play to go through the middle. And then by using man orientation from their three midfielders, it creates individual duels and potentially good situations for Argentina to win the ball back and intercept passes. So when Van Dijk would come forward, he'd have to do mid-range diagonal passes that could potentially be intercepted from a higher player or a deeper midfielder, while pressure was coming from a member of the back four of Argentina or from a deeper wide midfielder joining the back four, forming a makeshift back five. So a very interesting tactical setup that worked quite well for them, and one of the biggest dangers in these situations is the offensive transition for Argentina, because they can get Messi on the ball between the lines in space going forward quite easily if interceptions occur. So transitions will be huge for Argentina going forward. In possession of the ball, we've talked about this before in past videos, but they are very flexible, able to shift from a back three and a back four, making them very dangerous. They favor having a midfield diamond with three more offensive players between the lines while creating full width and asymmetric width in terms of their height, with one player staying high and wide and one player creating a mid-range height in the wide area. And from pinning and counter movements using their center striker, it also becomes very dangerous. And what I mean by this is when the ball is played into a wide area, we'll often see the attacking midfielder fan out into a wide area after the fullback gets the ball, and creating space for the central striker to then come fill this vacated space in the half space, potentially drawing out a central defender as well, creating space either between the lines or in behind for diagonal passes, and isolating the wing back from the opposing team. So by overloading the middle, they have all these little partnerships, and pairing this with pinning of the back four between the lines makes them a very dangerous team to play against, and their ability to have tight combinations between Messi and his teammates between the lines makes them very difficult to defend against. Now we'll often see when they move to a back four, they'll look to progress the ball through the wide area and break the first line of pressure using wide fullbacks. As we see here, the Argentine fullback goes wider and can break the first line of pressure with his first touch and positional superiority, so leaving Memphis Depay with a very difficult task to put pressure on the ball and maintain control over the fullback. But when this happens, Argentina have their 4-3-3 and an asymmetric front three that often sees a right winger aiding the progression of the fullback, because when the fullback progresses the ball, we'll see him enter the half space with his first touch, looking to go and access this space early. From here, he'll have many passing options and a four-man structure leading into the wide area, the half space, or the center of the field, all with teammates around him with the ability to create a 4 versus 3 or a different kind of qualitative superiority. And if nothing else, they'll be able to overload one side, drag the defense to one side as well, and exploit the weak side by changing shape. So this is why Argentina are so dangerous moving into the semifinal and potentially the final of the World Cup. It's because of these concepts we've talked about. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the video and who you think will win the World Cup. I'll see you in the next one.